Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So latest sample papers have been released by CBSE for the session 2022-23, meaning जो बच्चे प्रेजेंटली क्लासेस 10, 11, 12 में हैं उनके लिए क्वेश्चन पेपर फॉर्मेट रिलीज़ कर दिया गया है. सैम्पल क्वेश्चन पेपर्स रिलीज़ कर दिए गए हैं बाय CBSE. So today we will be discussing the reading section, okay, which is for 20 marks, section A for class 12 English core 301. 301 is the subject code, okay. We know that the question papers for 80 marks, 15 minutes reading time मिलता है. 3 sections होंगे, reading, writing and literature. बहुत ध्यान से सुनिएगा because if you pay real attention you will be able to understand things और फिर आपका पेपर भी आपको easy लगेगा. Otherwise you will be confused till the end. इंस्ट्रक्शंस गिवन है, बहुत सारी चॉइस गिवन है. इस बार आप क्वेश्चन पेपर में देखोगे तो स्पेशली लिटरेचर सेक्शन में अगर हम देखते हैं तो बहुत सारी चॉइस है आपके पास. बहुत सारे RTCs हैं जो अब पास्ट सेशन से डिफरेंट हैं. पास्ट सेशन के क्वेश्चन पेपर फॉर्मेट से थोड़े डिफरेंट भी हैं. इवन सेक्शन ए में भी रीडिंग स्किल्स में भी हमारे क्वेश्चंस का फॉर्मेट है वो चेंज हो गया है काफ़ी कुछ. Alright, so let's get going with section A, reading skills for 20 marks. 2 passages होंगे यहाँ पे, 10 marks each. सबसे पहले आप देखिए, first passage है MCQ based questions, उसमें 5 होंगे. You can see here the highlighted part. Subjective questions are 4, that is 40% is subjective. And objective type fill up there will be 1 question, 10%, so it's like 50% MCQ based, 40% subjective and 10% objective type which is in the form of a fill up. ये मैं बात कर रही हूँ सेक्शन ए के फर्स्ट पैसेज की. यहाँ पे आप देखोगे जो सैम्पल क्वेश्चन पेपर है उसमें गोस्ट नेट्स के बारे में बात की गई है. गोस्ट नेट्स एक्चुअली वो नेट्स होते हैं, फिशिंग नेट्स होते हैं बेसिकली, विच आर लॉस्ट इन द ओशन. नॉर्मली फिशरमैन आर कैचिंग द फिश, तो वो कैच हो जाती है तो वो उसको पुल आउट कर लेते हैं. बट हियर it is a danger, a threat to marine life because वो lost हो गया. That net is lost. It is made up of basically nylon or other plastic compounds which can last for centuries. Okay, so that's the reason actually ये environmental related passage है जो यहाँ पे हमें देखने को मिलता है सैम्पल क्वेश्चन पेपर में. So I hope this is clear कि 50% MCQ based होंगे. लास्ट सेशन तक हम 100% MCQ बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस कर रहे थे related to unseen passages, comprehensions, but which some children were not able to solve confidently. So here we see that 40% subjective है and 10% objective. So that's some relief to all those who find MCQs quite difficult, quite confusing. Here मैं आपको ये भी बता दूँ कि मेरे चैनल पे एक वीडियो है which is doing very well and children are gaining a lot out of it related to how to solve MCQ based questions. So आप वो ज़रूर देखिएगा, उसकी लिंक मैं डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में डाल दूँगी. Let's get going and let's discuss the question answers for the first passage here. आप देखोगे यहाँ पे the first question is MCQ based. Alright, I have written all this beforehand for you so it's easy for you to understand. Moreover, wherever you need you can take a screenshot and save it for later. Complete the sentence by choosing an appropriate option. Ghost nets have been named so because they, अब यहाँ पे आप देखोगे you know the options given are not so difficult. अगर आपने पैसेज बहुत अच्छे से रीड किया है, and of course it is always recommended कि 2 बार आपको पैसेज रीड करना चाहिए. तो जब आप पैसेज रीड करोगे so this kind of a question will come very easy to you. Cause much harm to the marine life, are functional though not in use by fishers, are not owned by anyone, act as a snare for all animals in oceans. So here we see that option C is the correct answer. Ghost nets have been named so because they are not owned by anyone, so they stay there in the ocean throughout. Question number 2 देखते हैं. It's a comment. Subjective question है ये. It's a subjective question. Comment on the writer's reference to the ghost nets in paragraph 1 as a health problem for the oceans. Okay, so you will have to read through the passage carefully and then we understand इसका जो आंसर है वो ये होना चाहिए. The ghost nets are the reason the marine life is frequently sick. If not addressed, this health issue would soon be chronic. Okay, so again, it's a straight answer although, but it is always recommended children कि आप copy paste ना करें, थोड़ी बहुत language change करके लिखें, because अगर आप देखोगे marking scheme में भी instructions given है that it should not be. I'll just show you the marking scheme here. Alright, this is the marking scheme. Look at this part. Marks to be awarded only if the response reveals structure or semblance of coherent thought rather than a transcribed chunk exact lines from the passage in an attempt to pass off a response. Okay, so marking scheme basically examiners को दी जाती है when they evaluate your board examination answer scripts. तो इसमें clearly given है कि copy paste type नहीं होना चाहिए, थोड़ा सा आपको अपने brains पे apply करके चलना है. So my suggestion is जब आप ऐसे subjective answers लिख रहे हो तो थोड़ी सी language change करके लिखिए. Alright, let's move on to question number 3. ये भी subjective question है. Here you can see it's a subjective question again. List the 2 ways being entangled in a ghost net is likely to impact a walrus. यहाँ पे there's a mention of this animal walrus and you can see that the clue is also given ताकि जो बच्चों को नहीं पता that walrus क्या होता है उनको भी समझ में आ जाए question very clearly. So here's a clue given here. Think about the type of animal a walrus is. So at least इतना तो समझ में आ गया बच्चों को through this clue that walrus is an animal. Okay, rest of course we can understand by reading through the passage. Okay, the answer here is this part: entangle and cause injuries, entangle and prevent resurfacing leading to death by drowning. So these are the 2 ways which have been mentioned in the passage कि कैसे एक ghost net walrus जैसे animal के लिए problem create कर सकता है. Let's move on to question number 4. Vocabulary based question है ये. Antonym इसमें पूछा गया है. Again MCQ based. Select the option that conveys the opposite of negligible from words used in paragraph 2. Let's look at the options: unimpressive, monumental, exposing, threat. So the correct answer here is monumental, B part. Okay, that's the antonym for negligible. So I hope you're able to understand that. Question number 5, MCQ based again. The writer should agree with the given statement based on paragraph 3 except, meaning इसमें चारों में से एक क्वेश्चन ऐसा है जिससे राइटर अग्री कर रहा है एंड वन ऑप्शन से अग्री नहीं कर रहा है. ओके, अगेन लुक एट द क्वेश्चन. द राइटर वुड अग्री विद द गिवन स्टेटमेंट बेस्ड ऑन पैराग्राफ 3. सो आपको पैराग्राफ 3 अच्छे से पढ़ना है. ये चारों पॉइंट्स आपको मिलेंगे पैराग्राफ 3 में. And out of 4 there are 3 options given here जिससे writer agree करता है और एक से agree नहीं करता है. So I have marked the answer for you here. Option number C. Most ghost nets provide nutrition to marine animals upon disintegration. So even if you have not read the passage very carefully, but I'm not saying don't read it. You should be very careful when you are reading the passages. Okay, अगर नहीं भी पढ़ा है तभी भी आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि this option does not go with a fact. This is not a fact. Marine animals को कभी भी nutrition नहीं मिलता है प्लास्टिक मेड, नाइलॉन मेड गोस्ट नेट से. यानी के जो प्लास्टिक की बनी है वो हार्मफुल है मरीन लाइफ के लिए, नॉट बेनिफिशियल. सो लेट्स मूव ऑन टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 नाउ. Some records share that fishing nets used to be made of common rope using natural fibers prior to the 1960s. Based on your understanding of paragraph 3, list one major advantage that these had over the fishing nets used in present times. So again here you have to refer to paragraph number 3. Okay, subjective question है. You can see question number 6 is again a subjective question. इसका आंसर देख लेते हैं. What would be the answer for this? used to be biodegradable, easily disintegrated as compared to artificial fiber nets that do not disintegrate. Okay, so there's a comparison कि 1960s में कैसे nets use होते थे और अभी in the present times, in the present scenario कैसे nets use होते हैं. Question number 7, subjective question yet again. Why? It's a why question. Okay, W question. Why is it fair to say that commitment and innovation have to go hand in hand to rid the oceans of ghost nets? So this is like a solution, you know. That's a हमने problem देखा, क्या problem discuss हो रहा है comprehension में about ghost nets and how it's hazardous for marine life. तो यहाँ पे solution की भी बात हो रही है. तो solution इस question में पूछा गया है कैसे, you know, in an innovative and a very committed way, how can we get rid of ghost nets? So answer देख लेते हैं इसका. Commitment. This task will require perseverance, a long time to accomplish, meaning एकदम से तो problem का solution नहीं होगा ना, it'll take some time. Innovation, creative ideas and strategies would be needed to address this problem. Okay, so look at the way the answer should be written, because you know there are two things mentioned here, commitment and innovation. So हम भी separately अपने answer को 2 points में यहाँ लिख सकते हैं. Alright, let's move on to question number 8 now. Objective type है, fill up है. Complete the given sentence with an appropriate inference with respect to the following. Okay, so we understand here this particular question is asking for an option और काफ़ी सारे options given हैं passage में जिसमें से आप कोई भी एक लिख सकते हो. Like I've written here any one or similar answer. अच्छा, similar क्यों लिखा है? Because you are encouraged to write the answers in your own words wherever you know comprehension is concerned. Let's look at the question. The writer quotes the example of the WWF led mission in the Baltic Sea. Paragraph 4 का reference है यहाँ पे. In order to, तो इसमें से कोई भी यहाँ पे 3 references given है, आप कोई भी एक answer इसमें लिख सकते हो. Draw attention to the magnitude of the problem. Indicate that governments need to collaborate with such groups for addressing the problem of ghost nets. Share evidence of human apathy, carelessness towards natural resources. अच्छा, इससे हमें एक चीज़ और पता चलती है चिल्ड्रन, यहाँ पे जो आंसर्स गिवन है उससे आप एक चीज़ और समझो कि sometimes more than one answer, more than one option is given in the comprehension, but it's a 1 marker. So 1 marker के लिए आपको 1 point ही लिखना है, उससे ज़्यादा लिखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Okay, let's move on to question number 9. It's an MCQ based question yet again. How can the solution suggested in paragraph 5 best be described? So they have taken 2 questions from paragraph 3, 1 from paragraph 4, and this question is based on paragraph 5. So see, we have to read the passage very carefully. Options: practical, presentable, popular, prejudiced. Answer, correct answer for this is practical. Okay, let's look at the question again. How can the solution suggested in paragraph 5 best be described? Practically ही इस problem का solution हो सकता है. Alright, let's move on to question number 10. The last question here, again MCQ based, title पे based है. बहुत time बाद हमने देखा कि CBSE has suggested, you know, a question can come based on the title of the above passage where class 12 is concerned. देख लेते हैं कौन से 4 ऐसे ऑप्शंस हैं जो गिवन है. टाइटल्स: द स्कैरी साइड ऑफ घोस्ट नेट्स, अ रिजल्ट ऑफ ह्यूमन डोमिनेंस, घोस्ट नेट्स, अ मेनेस टू मरीन लाइफ, वेज टू टैकल द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ घोस्ट नेट्स. ओके, सो द करेक्ट ऑप्शन एंड द क्लोजेस्ट ऑप्शन इज घोस्ट नेट्स, अ मेनेस टू मरीन लाइफ. मेनेस मीन्स डेंजर. Alright, so I hope this is clear, children. Again, before I move on to passage 2, I would like to remind you that पैसेज 1 में 5 क्वेश्चन, दैट इज़ 50% क्वेश्चंस आर MCQ बेस्ड, 40% सब्जेक्टिव एंड अनदर 10% ऑब्जेक्टिव टाइप, जो इस क्वेश्चन पेपर में, सैम्पल क्वेश्चन पेपर में फिलअप के फॉर्म में है. ओके, alright, let's get going with the second passage. Again, it's a 10 marker, meaning 10 questions होंगे, 1 mark each. Let's look at this, the bifurcation that's been given where MCQ, subjective or other kind of objective type questions are concerned. इसमें भी 50% questions MCQ based हैं children. That means 5 questions MCQ based होंगे, option based होंगे. 30%, that is 3 questions will be subjective, whereas 2 questions will be objective type in the form of fill-ups. Okay, fill in the blanks के form में होंगे. Alright, research based passage है ये. Alright, इसमें आप देखोगे here lot of data has been given. A 2014 descriptive study sought to understand student leadership with research through key events via the following research questions. Research question number 1, 2, 3, that way. And here you'll see that there's a figure given here. See, this is a table that's given here, which is talking about lessons learned and the responses. Okay, so basically this is also the data that has to be understood, that has to be read very carefully before you get going with the questions given here. Alright, let's go on and discuss the questions. Look at the first question given here, children. Does the following statement agree with the information given in paragraph 1? This is a MCQ based, you have to choose an option, but इसमें 4 options given नहीं है. Moreover, you will see that this is based on assertion and reasoning. ठीक है, जो हम inference की बात कर रहे हैं पिछले 2 years से, you know that आपके जो answers हैं वो inference based होंगे. So this is also an assertion reasoning kind of a question. Question read कर लेते हैं. The researcher believes that educational institutions have ideal resources to study impact of leadership skills on young adults. Okay, so we have to select one out of these 3. Answer I have already marked for you, so there is no confusion. True if the statement agrees with the information, false if the statement contradicts the information, not given if there is no information on this. So the correct answer here is false, that is if the statement contradicts the information. कौन से statement की बात कर रहे हैं हम? I'll read it out again for you. The researcher believes that educational institutes have ideal resources to study impact of leadership skills on young adults. You will be able to infer this only when you read the passage very carefully. Okay? अच्छा, हमने false choose तो किया है, but how do we understand जो हमारा answer है वो correct है? You know, इसका basis क्या है? So I've written this for you from the marking scheme, of course, again released by CBSE. The researcher indicates that educational institutions have opportunities and programs to inculcate leadership skills. So this particular reference has been given in the passage, जिसके basis पे हम ये बोल सकते हैं that the correct answer here is false. Let's move on to question number 2. Here you can see, do you think the researchers of the study aim to change the students' outlook towards the development of leadership skills? Directly or indirectly support your answer with reference to the text. It's a subjective question, children. Alright, आपको आंसर खुद लिखना है, फिर मैं बोलूँगी थोड़ी सी लैंग्वेज चेंज करके तब अपने आंसर को लिखिए. पूरा कॉपी पेस्ट नहीं करना है हमको. लेट्स लुक एट द आंसर, क्योंकि देखो क्वेश्चन स्टार्ट हो रहा है डू यू थिंक, सो आंसर हमारा किससे स्टार्ट हो रहा है यहाँ पे? नो. Alright, so let's look at the value points given here. The aim of seeking students' perspective was to enable a better designing creation of the leadership programs in educational institutions. एक तो आंसर ये है. आप ये भी लिख सकते हो और आप ये भी लिख सकते हो promote higher efficacy betterment of leadership programs. All right, again 2 points given है, आप 1 point ही लिखिए. Why? Because it's a 1 marker. Okay, Let's move on to question number 3, MCQ based question है. Select the option that displays the most likely reason for including research question 3 in the 2014 study. So इसमें जो figures given है and जो data given है उसको हमें बहुत closely understand करना है to answer a question like this. Okay, MCQ based hai. In order to find out if learning opportunities shape students' overall personality, leadership lessons are the result of the designed leadership opportunities, all learning opportunities cater to a specific lesson, certain lessons are common in more than one learning opportunity. So I've already marked the answer for you children. D part is the correct answer. Certain lessons are common in more than one learning opportunity. And how do we conclude this? By reading the comprehension and the data given there very closely. Alright, question number 4. Complete the sentence. Objective type hai, fill up hai. More than 50% of the identified student respondents were keen to participate in the 2014 study. We can say this because answer I have written here for you from the marking scheme children based on your comprehension. 72 of 130 students consented and were interviewed. Note 72 out of 130 is more than half, that is 50%. Okay, यहाँ पे फिर से देखो आप, question says more than 50% of the identified student respondents were keen to participate in 2014 study. और हम यहाँ क्या justification दे रहे हैं? 72 out of 130 is more than 50%. Okay, so we say that 72 of 130 students consented and were interviewed. Okay children, you can see here, यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो, there is, this is where the answer has been taken from. Approximately 130 students were contacted and 72 interested were interviewed. Okay, this is the reference from where we conclude that particular question, from where we conclude this particular answer. Let's move on to question number 5. Select the option that displays the key event designed with balancing roles. ये आपको आंसर ढूंढना पड़ेगा टेबल 1 में से. MCQ based है. Options are given. Let's read the options here. Students will be able to debate the issue at hand with different teams. Students will be able to manage the responsibilities of a mentor, planner, researcher and presenter. Students will be able to surmount minor problems and focus on the final goal. Students will be able to explain concepts and clarify them for peers. Alright, so you can see here children, this is table 1. This is where we have to understand, what the correct answer would be. So इसको आपको अच्छे से study करना पड़ेगा, and it's only then that you'll be able to answer the kind of questions based on such figures, such data. Let's talk about question number 6 given here, MCQ based again. You can see that 4 options are given here. Basically it's a fill up as well. Fill up hai lekin options given hai, so MCQ based hai. Complete the given sentence by selecting the most appropriate option. The 2014 study attempts to understand student leadership by focusing on experiences that shape students' overall personality, lessons gained by students as they grew up, relationship of key events with particular lessons and students in leadership roles. So we understand through 2014 study attempts which are given in the comprehension that option C is the correct option. Relationship of key events with particular lessons. Let's move on to question number 7. The lessons for individual competencies had a range of responses. So what is it? We have to give a reason, meaning this is also a subjective question. Give a reason why having the least number of responses for decision making is a matter that needs attention. Okay? The answer should be this needs attention because it clearly indicates that the lessons created student experiences do not allow sufficient opportunities for development of this crucial skill. Okay, so this is also given in the passage. We just have to change the language a little and then get going with it. Alright, next one. Complete the given sentence by selecting the most appropriate option. MCQ based है. Let me show you all the 4 options given here. Yes, here you go. Complete the given sentence by selecting the most appropriate option. The concluding sentence of the text makes a clear case for dash by listing it as a core competency for student leadership. Number 1, collaboration. Number 2, flexibility. Number 3, hard work. And number 4, observation. So the correct answer has been marked for you here. It is collaboration. Alright, how do we conclude this answer? By reading the comprehension very closely. Question number 9. Complete the sentence appropriately with 1 or 2 words. That means 1 or 2 words का मतलब क्या है? Word भी हो सकता है, phrase भी हो सकता है. Alright? Objective type है, fill up है. Let's look at the sentence given here. In this context of working with others in table 1, the lesson of conflict refers to. Conflict का मतलब क्या है? Answer is here. You can see this highlighted in green. Being able to amicably and effectively resolve matters. या फिर conflict resolution. कोई और similar answer भी relevant हो सकता है, because you're writing in your own words, so वो भी acceptable होगा. Last question here. Based on the reading of the text, state a point to challenge the given statement. So we're going to read the statement very carefully and then we have to infer the answer by reading the comprehension. Subjective question hai ye. Let's read the statement given here. When theoretical knowledge about leadership suffices, it is a waste of funds by educational organizations to organize leadership camps and programs. Now, remember the question says you have to challenge it. Okay, एक ऐसा point आपको देना है, ऐसा valid answer देना है जिससे कि given statement को हम challenge कर पाएं. That means वो contradictory होगा. Okay, so this says I disagree because no amount of theoretical knowledge can aid students to actually apply their learning about leadership and develop various skills. That's it about the second passage, children. So before I conclude again, I would like to bring to your notice, children, be very specific about this whenever you are practicing, that 50% MCQ based, 30% subjective and 20% objective type, case based, statistical study on those kind of passages will be there in the second passage. So do not miss out when I discuss the writing skills. I'll just show you. Soon I will be bringing the creative writing skills as well as literature with you. So I'll be posting those videos soon. Do not miss them. You will find the link in the description box. And तब तक आप सेक्शन ए सॉल्व करिए. मेरा असर्शन ये है कि आप दोनों पैसेजेस सॉल्व करें एंड फिर जो मैंने आंसर्स आपको बताए हैं उनसे मैच करें, सो दैट यू आर बेटर प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर योर अपकमिंग एग्जाम्स. Take care, children, and it's a request to subscribe to my channel. There's so much that I'm bringing along for you where classes 11, 12 are concerned, children, and for class 10 also. But it's very heartbreaking that abhi bhi 81% people, 81% students who are watching my videos, they have not subscribed. So it's very encouraging when you subscribe, when you comment. Alright, so let's meet again very soon with the rest of the paper being discussed. Get going with it, children, and practice enough. God bless you. Take care.